The following message is highly contagious because no one's unpacked it like this until now.
If you do not know me, my name is Godfrey Francis, British-born Ghanaian from South London. I am a safety advisor specializing in the multi-utilities and construction industry. Now, we all know about the challenges facing the Caribbean and Africa. For example, why there is no direct trade routes between Africa and the Caribbean. Seriously, we need to wake up. Enough is enough. I am not one for repeating the problem, so let's talk solutions. I were an Afro-Caribbean pastor. Here's how I would do it. 1. Reclaim the pulpit as a liberation platform. I would preach sermons that blend spiritual truth with political clarity. Just as Jesus flipped tables in the temple, I would flip the narrative on passive faith. I would use scripture to expose injustice, quoting prophets like Amos who said, "Let justice roll down like waters." 2. Educate the congregation on economic systems. Get this, listen carefully. Every Bible study would include education on how neo-colonial systems keep nations in debt. I would explain things like the CFA franc, IMF conditionalities, and resource theft in simple terms, connecting them to the Exodus story, liberation from economic pharaohs. I would invite guest experts and industry scholars to host information technology skills workshops covering topics like quantum computing and quantum safe, international trade best practice, sustainability and resource optimization strategies, effective leadership and critical thinking. 3. Build local economic resilience. I would start a church-based cooperative fund, a modern-day storehouse, to support Black-owned farms, credit unions, and manufacturing. Think of it as Joseph's storehouse during famine, preparing our people for independence. 4. Forge alliances with conscious faith leaders. I would reach out to like-minded pastors across Africa, the UK, and the Caribbean to host a Pan-African Liberation Theology Summit, where we outline a spiritual and economic roadmap based on justice, dignity, and sovereignty. 5. Leverage church influence for political pressure. Just as churches mobilize for elections or crusades, I'd mobilize thousands for policy change. We'd demand the severing of exploitative trade deals and call for transparent governance at home and abroad. 6. Use media to shift culture. Check it. Weekly podcasts, social media clips, street posters, and short films would break down Traoré's approach for the masses. If Burkina Faso can do it, so can we. If I wanted to bridge Africa-Caribbean trade like a living corridor of Black empowerment, here's how I would do it, step by step. 1. Start with relationship building, like planting seeds in good soil. I would connect with chambers of commerce, cooperatives, and trade ministries on both sides. You can't build a bridge without laying foundations. Zoom meetings, cultural festivals, and Black Atlantic roundtables would lay the emotional and professional groundwork. 2. Map supply and demand, like a chef, learning his ingredients. What does Ghana produce in abundance that St. Lucia needs? What can Jamaica export that Burkina Faso lacks? This isn't guesswork. I would commission a practical, low-cost trade audit with young economists and business students across the diaspora. 3. Create small pilot trade routes, like testing the waters before sailing. Begin with 1 or 2 shipping container routes, maybe shea butter from Burkina Faso in exchange for Caribbean sea moss or spices. Let the first shipment be the proof of concept. Document everything, costs, customs, hiccups, for improvement. 4. Leverage digital platforms, like building a market without walls. I would develop an Afro-Caribbean digital trade marketplace, call it Bridge Trade or Blacklink, where small producers, shippers, and buyers can connect directly, like Etsy or Alibaba, but for our people. 5. Involve the churches and cultural institutions, like using the drumbeat to call the village together. I would host Afro-Caribbean Trade Sunday services with live product showcases and talks from Black entrepreneurs. I'd encourage members to invest in diaspora trade funds, turning tithes into tools. 6. Create a shared standard and logistics hub, like building a universal drum language. Simplify customs processes with bilateral agreements. Design shared packaging and labeling standards. Maybe even build a Caribbean-owned port hub in West Africa, operated cooperatively like a family farm. 7. Protect it from exploitation, like guarding the harvest from the crows. Legal protections and watchdog bodies would be necessary. I'd recruit Pan-African lawyers, trade experts, and cultural elders to ensure we don't just recreate colonialism with black faces. We can't keep praising miracles in the church while ignoring the chains outside its walls. If our pulpits have the power to heal, then they also have the power to reveal. Traoré is showing Africa a new path, bold, unbought, and unafraid. As Afro-Caribbean voices, we must not only echo his courage, we must build with it. From trade routes to truth-telling, from prayers to policies, it's time we move as one. So here's the call. If you're a pastor, speak up. If you're a teacher, teach truth. If you're a trader, build new links. And if you're just one person watching, share this message. Let the silence end with you. Let the movement grow because of you.